Yes, definitely. Thank you, Sakshi, for your introduction. Great going ahead. Yes, Jitin, you unmuted yourself. Yes, yes, you're audible. Great, great. Welcome, Jitin, and thank you for introduction. And great, great. Now we have a team of practicing psychologists, teaching professionals, psycho-oncologists, and it's really a great cohort I've been into now. Roshan, would you like to go ahead with your introduction? Good evening. Good evening. Great, great, wonderful, wonderful. Uh, yes, it's really important. It's really pertinent that we get a license now, and then so that it gives us the the ultimate confidence to practice and counsel the people around us, the those who are needy. Fine. Yes, we have someone who joined newly, and then I'm not able to. Yes, 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 please. From the home country. Right, right, right. You need a certification from the home country. Mm. Yes. Mm. Sure. Yes, definitely. Yes, definitely. I'll just talk about the details, and you're very correct because now, as you know, even in India, the structure is that the IGNOU masters and like online or distance one masters in psychology has come to an end. So whatever course getting recognition is the offline one, is the regular one, right? And we are here to help you in that process itself, as we have helped like our previous batches since past 7 years. And um before introducing everything, I will also like to say that we are quite a transparent organization. Fine, so we are very transparent. So you can talk to all our previous students. You can talk to our current batch student also. Fine. And I've asked them to give some time and join this webinar. They they are all working professionals, so hardly they have times. Sometimes they are traveling somewhere. And one of my students, he just gave me a message that, sir, I am in place where it is snowing continuously. It's like there is no network. It's like heavy snow over there. He is in forces. And so he said that uh, I'll try to join if I can, and the other students they'll be joining soon. So my purpose of having this webinar, putting things on the LinkedIn is to help uh, my fellow psychologists who have great aspiration, desires, intentions, and they are all hardworking people. We are all hardworking people. We are connected with people. We are social scientists in one form or the other. When we try to recognize this thing, fine. And this transparency means you can talk to the students, you can discuss with them, you can have a cohort, you can have a group, fine. Now, what we have realized is I've been interacting and teaching and mentoring and giving internship to students. I've realized that things are there, but awareness is not there. Fine. Second thing is that the list, what we are talking about is all the colleges, all the universities, all the institutions mentioned in the Rehabilitation Council of India list. So all those who have mailed have given your mail IDs. I have mailed all of you the detailed structure what we are talking about. I have mailed you the list of institutions approved by Rehabilitation Council of India. One important thing is for starting the presentation, I want to tell you that the list has a good number of colleges and universities all across India. Fine. I have done what I've done is last 3 years, I've been visiting to these universities just out of curiosity to see how things are working over there, how the studies are going over there. It is a very sorrow and it is a very sorry state that some of the universities, I'll tell you also, J. Narayan Vyas University, and they have all the approved courses for PGDRP, MPhil Rehab Psychology, MPhil Clinical Psychology. Fine. But if you go over there, nothing's there. Fine. So there would be many colleges which will charge even lesser amount from you. Fine. And then when you go and attend, and you will see that from this year to this year, this course is not valid. Fine. So if I'll show you the RCI list also, in the RCI list, there are colleges in which there is a red color uh, in a red background color, in a red color, it is marked regret for this year, regret for that year, regret for 2025, regret 26, regret for 27, regret for 24. This is written over there. This makes the whole process quite confusing. Fine. That is why um, our role as a psychologist-led organization, a professor-led organization. I've been into this field of psychology for the past 23 years, and I'm coming from a university teaching field to a school counselor, and then as a practicing psychologist, I have seen all the ups and downs, the weathers and conditions over there. Right? Now, what I realize is that not only proper guidance is required, but a proper hand holding is required if you want to excel in this field. Fine. And second thing is, there are facilities. The universities are giving facilities, the colleges are giving facilities that working professionals like you, fine, can pursue this RCA license side by side, fine. But there are certain limitations and conditions. We'll talk about them all. Fine. I won't take much of your time because I know it's the evening part, and what I've done is to make the things more simple. Fine. Now let me attach the file and let me present you this. Yeah. Um, mm, mm, entire screen. I think I'll use my entire screen. Fine. Okay. Okay. Priya has joined. Priya, thanks for joining in. I'm just starting with the presentation. I'll take up the questions later on. Fine. Okay. So, without taking much time, uh, I'll tell you what is the whole thing about. Now, PGDRP, why PGDRP, first of all? One main reason is that postgraduate diploma in rehabilitation psychology. This is the full form of this PGDRP course. Why? This is a RCI license course. RCI license means when you complete this course and you submit your documents to Rehabilitation Council of India, which is a government body which gives license, which is situated here in South Delhi. Uh, you get a license to practice as a psychologist or the kind of uh, as a psychologist. And PGDRP, now big confusion is people say is when you have done is postgraduate diploma in rehabilitation psychology, you have certain limitations, fine. But if I tell you in exactly when you go and practice as a psychologist, in your license, it is clearly written that this license is valid throughout the country, throughout India. Your uh, assessment and your counseling is admissible in courts. Means if your client goes to court and he requires your certification, it is valid in all the courts. So it's a legal document, legal responsibility, legal opportunity you get as a license. Fine. So it is always being a quagmire and a quarrel and a confusion amongst the psychologists that whether they should go for a license or not. Right? If you are in a field in the field of psychology, there must be a point in which you are counseling, fine, and there is a scenario where you are uh, like into private practice, and the first and foremost thing is if you have already done your master's in psychology, you're only 1 year ahead, 1 year behind, 1 year behind of getting a license when you if you join PGDRP. You can also join MPhil rehab, you can also join MPhil clinical. That also we are providing, we are dealing with, we are connected with the universities for that also. Right? But why PGDRP? Because it is cost effective. It is the fastest process to get a license. Fine. And then you have all the validity to counsel and prescribe your methodology. Prescribe in the sense, not medicines, prescribe your methodology and way. And nobody can challenge you. See, practice licensing is very much important in practice because you don't know what is there with your client, whether it even I'll say what kind of intentions your client might turn up with. It is not that the other person is bad, but situations are bad. People are not bad, situations are bad. So sometimes situations go wrong, and if something happens to your client, you are 100% responsible for his or her mental health. That is why I say licensing is very important. You all know that. Now, what is the honest conversation now is that is to tell you the exact scenario. There are PGDRP courses, there are license courses which is run by the colleges, but not explained by them. Why? Because the agents they are not psychologists. Agents they are not into practice. The agents they are not dealing with the scenario. Now, first we'll say is that uh, this is a course, this is the shortest one, it is a 1 year course. Fine. Now, there are universities, as I told you in the beginning, there are colleges. I will give the, I have mailed you the list also. By just going through the list, you cannot be 100% sure that the college is good or bad. Second thing is whether the course will continue or discontinue. Fine. As I've seen with the previous batches also, there have been colleges, there have been universities, and I'll say through due diligence, we are lucky that we don't face any such problem, any such thing. And uh, next thing is that there have been colleges in which people have taken admission, the course has started, but some problem with the inspection and the whole course is in dilemma, in a suspended state. Right? So the students not don't know about their future, the colleges don't know about the future. Right? This is a critical issue which is being there. So that is one major thing that due diligence from our side takes the key role. Fine. Now the problem is not only getting and joining the license courses. Second issue is what is the next scenario after it. Fine. Now, as we see, the PGDRP market, it is actually a market. Why I say? Because in the all the education industry, people who are not themselves in the field they are entering just because they are able to sell the course, sell the structure, sell the fees, sell the admission process. They get the benefit, fine. But who is a sufferer at the end? The student, right? Psychologist, researcher like us in case of psychology related courses. That's why I say heavily advertise. Uh, that's why I say heavily advertised, aggressively sold, and agent promoted. Fine. So psychology, as the line said, is not engineering. It cannot be sold like a product. It's a soft science. And those who are entering into the field, um, they need to know what is correct and what is wrong. Fine. So that's why I say how these agent promoted programs work. They focus on how to fill the seats. Once the admission is done, they are not responsible. I tell you, they are not responsible for your life. They are not responsible whether you pass or fail. Fine. They're not responsible what next you have to do after completing your license. So I'm taking not only the beginning scenario, I'm also taking the scenario at the continual and at the present scenario. What about talk about the people who have done 5 years, license 5 years, 10 years, 15 years before this time also. Right? So I'll say they focus on filling the seats, they focus on the responsibility ends at the time of admission. And a very important thing, because I have been into this stream and I've been quite active in both LinkedIn and the other social sites, means the professional sites. I've been into LinkedIn since 2011. I've seen the progression of people. I've seen the projects of the people. There are certain cases, uh, not only here, but even in the in our Indian psychologist group. There is a group, Gmail group called as Indian Psychologist Group. Now there is a scenario in which professors themselves are telling that diploma program, some postgraduate diploma program in psychology is given by IGNO is RCA licensed. Now this is a big knowledge gap, I will say, because it was many years earlier, I'll say 8 or 9 years back, that the diploma given by IGNO was recognized by RCI. But now, as you people have said, that the only recognition by RCI is for regular courses which are mentioned. For those non-regular courses, RCA has mentioned that these are recognized by us with certain conditions. Now, IGNO, please be mindful uh, that IGNO is offering diploma courses or some other courses, right? They are not recognized by RCI. RCI only recognize 1 year regular PGDRP. Fine, okay. That is the thing. So the structure is simple. When you enter into RCI, right? I'll stop sharing the slide and I'll come back to you. Right? Okay. So when you enter this course structure, right? Then you go and read, go and read about you face three difficult things. One is the internship part, fine. Now this is a major breakthrough. The kind of internship you have to do has to be aligned with your expertise. Fine. Now the problem is everyone now competition. Why there is a competition? Because everyone who is doing masters or bachelors in psychology and they're entering into the field, now they think is that we are available and we should practice in all the fields available to us. For example, I'll say someone would say, I'm good in dealing with children. Fine. So I'll enter into the child behavioral issue problem. Fine. But if they get a client for marriage counseling, they are readily open to it. Fine. Because as in other fields, they say, like suppose if you take in case of MBBS, so whatever cases would come to a medical graduate, they will look and cater to it. Fine. Now the scenario is little bit changed. What has happened is you have to start thinking, you have to start planning, you have to start curating your complete feature, complete structure as per the demands, not only the demands, but as per your expertise. Now, I say you have to analyze which field you are expert in, which genre you are expert in, which age uh, gap, which age filter you are fluent in, you are more more comfortable with. So some of us are more comfortable in dealing with children, some of us are more comfortable dealing with the old age people, some of us are dealing with the adult population. Fine. So not all of us are expert in dealing with all the cases. That is why I say uh, PGDRP licensing is the I'll say the first and foremost part which helps you to identify which is your expertise. Fine. Because now, unless you establish your expertise, unless you establish your own niche, fine, then you will be struggling and you will be handling all the related cases which are available to you. You will be handling geriatrics cases, you will handle anxiety cases, you will handle uh, organizational psychology related cases. Fine. Now, that is why I say, let me come back to the slide. The most important thing is not only entering into the PGDRP field, fine, but also uh, what we are doing is we are identifying that what kind of internships you need to enter into. That is very important part. Fine. Now, why this is important, why I'm telling you all this thing is once you take admission into the PGDRP course, nothing is clearly conveyed to you. Fine, if you're directly going to the college, even if you're directly doing all the attendance part, nothing is clearly conveyed to you. At one point, they will say, please give us the internship certificates, or you have to do a mandatory internship. Now, what will happen is you will join any hospital, you will join any psychological setup. Fine, you will join any organization which gives the internship and you will be dealing with you'll be seriously putting all your 100% energies into it. But at the end, what we realize is that we are not, from inside, we are not so closely connected or slowly or expert. We don't have that expertise to deal with that kind of case. Right? Then we realize that most of the time was wasted. I'll say wasted. Why? Because our target was not that kind of thing. We were doing, suppose you join in a hospital, you will have all the cases over there. But again, it is only as a mandatory part you're doing it. Right? Now, this is the time where we should stop doing the mistakes in selecting any kind of internship. That is why I say internship letter is not equal to internship guidance. Fine. Second thing is RCI documentation errors. This is quite simple thing. Uh, you can see the mistakes in this letters also. That is again a kind of psychology which we use. Is that highlighted material is better remember. If you go to basic psychology, it's there is a phenomena called as warm restore effect. Fine. So RCI documentation errors is when you submit the documents to RCI for get a license, you'll see that there is something missing or some internship gap was there. Fine. Now, next thing is when you go and when you start your practice, next important thing is you need your PhD. So I'm not saying, I'm not telling that it's a fancy thing. No, please recognize that it's not a fancy thing. Your client will have trust on you only if you have these essential degrees. Earlier, we used to say these were decorated. These are decorations. No, I'll say no. They are not decorations. Not only, and they are only not only reserved, not only required for those in the academic field, they are also required when you, they are also a market requirement when you are entering into a practicing field, right? Because the client in front of you is not aware that there is a difference between a clinical psychologist or rehabilitation psychologist or a PhD person, fine, or an occupational therapist. They say, okay, this person has achieved the highest amount of degree, so this and this person is more committed. Fine, you get my point. There is not a matter of my own vision wealth if I want to do a PhD or not, or if I can give my time to PhD or not. No, this is not the case. You have to add these things, then only I can guarantee that you will definitely be handling a good number of cases, and you will have a good financial backup for doing this course. Earlier, it was that people were joining psychology, they were like running from pillar to post because not many career pathways were available. Now I say pathways are the one which you can create nowadays. Fine, I'll tell you that also. So, no, this was the problem which I discussed with you. This is RCI. This is the problem. This is the practical scenario. Fine. Now, why is a regulated profession? It is actually a regulated profession and it carries a lot of commitment and discipline and a better planning. Right? So, what we are here is not only to get you admitted. So, please be mindful of the fact that Connaissance Specialist is not an admission agent. Fine. So we are taking a complete handhold of you entering into this licensing part, entering into the profession in a professional way, but also establishing your practice. I'll tell you later on also that how you establish your practice, how you go about taking mudra loan from the government. Fine. And you all are eligible. How do you take the MSME certification? How you apply for that one? Fine. So these things have to go side by side when you enter into the practicing field. Because when you enter into the practicing field, you need funds, you need space, you need recognition, and you need safety also. Right? Okay, how many of you know about the MSME and Mudra loan? Can you please raise your hands? Okay, no one? Okay. I'll tell you in detail about that also because my aim here as a fellow psychologist, my colleague, is not to leave you behind in competition, is to help all of us evolve uh, at the same time with force. Right? For that thing, we need all kinds of backup. Right? So that is why I say we are not only admission, we are not doing only the admission part, we are taking your responsibility not only till the you complete your license, but also after that. Our role majorly comes after you get the license part. Of course, license part is the thing, is the one. So where we are required is when you have a PGD, not only PGDRP, but also post PGDRP confusions. Then when you're stuck after your internship and unsure about what next has to be done, right? So in short, who we are. So as I told you that MSME registered entity, we have our office in sector 9090 Alpha Thumb. So you're always free to visit our office, have a cup of tea or coffee with us. You can anytime visit us. Right? So, and second thing is we are a group of university professors. So we have come here because we have seen lots of things going here and there in the job on the education market, right? And we term ourselves as career custodians. We are not agents. We are your partners in profession, right? So, and when you talk about the experience, I have been into this field for the past 23 years. I was into teaching field. As you can go through my LinkedIn profile, I was earlier in teaching field. I have taught in Addis Ababa University, uh, Asmara College of Health Science in India, and then many universities here in India. Also, MIT. I was a visiting faculty at MIT, Bennett, examiner at Sharda University, and and so many things, like I'll say. So, so experience is not only that we have just touched upon the things and we started working on that. No, I've been working with these with my students for PGDRP admissions and guidance and internship for the past 7 years. So, like when you talk about psychology, I am a registered research guide at IGNO also. So I take the practical examination, I take the Viva, and till now, almost 4,000 students have done their master's thesis under my guidance, right? So, so 7 years of PGDRP and 23 recent and 23 students now in the current batches in four different universities with us, and every university has one plus point or the other, right? So you cannot say that this university is the ultimate one in which I should get admission, right? So, what actually this thing requires is your academic preparations, your licensing clarity, right, and your planning, right? Okay. So, how our pathway is different? In short, I will say is that no difference between no hand holding and hand holding, fine. Okay. Okay. So what is now what I talk about is my Mind Pro program. So I'll just stop sharing my screen. I'll come back to you, and now I'll open the platform for questions. What all questions you have? Uh, please feel free, and whatever thing comes to your mind. Um, so first, I'd like to take up what all questions you had uh, in mind before going ahead, so that we come more closer to the reality and to the clarity that you have all of you have told that you know the relevance of the license part. Second thing is you all know that it's a regular course, fine. Now let me break the ice. You, I told you all my previous batches, even the current batch, they are all working professionals. So, so it can be done along with your own regular work, education, or any other thing. So there are opportunities, there are availabilities over there, and many students have already done. Fine. Those in the final year of PhD, they can also take admission. Fine. Because uh, there is a time gap and there is a time extension and there is a time limit available to us. Fine. Even more, why we are talking about the admission process in the beginning of the year, you need to understand it. Once, yeah, I have a question from Sanoop. It said that the RCI won't take distance or online PGDRP. Yes, yes, definitely. This is not a distant one. This is not a distant one. Fine. It is a regular 1 year PGDRP. Your colleges in which you will do your PGDRP, they will issue a letter of attendance uh, for you to the Rehabilitation Council of India. Right? It's a process.